my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be tasting another military ration, and this time it's going to be this one. And this is a Type 1 Japanese Special Defense Forces military ration. And what makes this a little bit different than any other ration that I've ever had is that everything is in a can. So this ration was sent to me by my friend Gundog. Gundog, thank you so much for sending this to me. He's been so generous and sent me so many international rations. So this is a real treat because apparently these are pretty rare. Be sure to show Gundog some love. I'll put his link in the description down below. So there's not a lot of information about these Japanese rations, at least in English. But what I did discover is that these are called mirimeshi, and that means like a military meal. There's Type 1 and Type 2. Type 2 I've tasted previously. If you've missed that one, I'll put the link above. I'll also include the playlist to all my other military ration tastings. And that ration was more similar to an MRE, and everything was packaged in plastic. These ones, on the other hand, are more similar to the old school MREs or C rations that were packaged in cans. So these are called kanmeshi. Meshi means meal, kan means can. So there are 4 cans to this ration. This large one, this smaller one, and 2 kind of tuna fish sized ones, like right here. I tried using my Translate app, which wasn't very useful in this case, and trying to translate this was not very easy because this tin is very dark. But if you take a picture and you can highlight it and see if it recognizes it that way. But it still didn't work. No Japanese text found. So I had to look this one up, and this is go mokumeshi, and this is a seasoned rice. Go meaning 5, so I think there are 5 ingredients in here that make this rice seasoned, kind of like a pilaf. This one I can actually read in katakana, and these are wiener sausages. What's really cool about this one is it has a little can opener here that you can take off. It translated it earlier. Yeah. Anyways, that's not working. But what it says here is it has a little notch here, and it says you put a 10 yen piece to snap this off. So I happen to have a 10 yen coin. You put it under here, take off the can opener. I can read this one, it's in hiragana. This is takoanzuke, and these are going to be little pickles. And these are made out of daikon radish, really long radish that's white. Little dishes of pickles accompany a lot of dishes in Japanese cuisine. Gyuniku ajitsuke. So this is some sort of beef, I think, stew. We'll find out. So 4 cans, pretty simple ration. Place these in boiling water, allow them to sit for 25 minutes. So I put them all in there except the pickles, because the pickles will just be eaten at room temperature. So all these cans are very hot, so I'm going to set them aside. Let's test out the can opener. I'm going to open the pickles first. Ooh, and move it. Boy, that is some work. Okay, now I got it. All right, so here are the pickles. It also has a little bit of seaweed, thinking that's kombu. So let's open the wieners next. I'm going to take the liberty to use a regular can opener. Ugh. All right, I just got this can opener and it sucks. Let's see what these are like. Oh, yes, they look very similar to Vienna sausages. Take a few of those out. Oh, they're a little different. A little darker on the exterior. And they look like they have a bit of a casing on them. Vienna sausages don't have a casing. Okay. Ugh, this can opener sucks. Getting beef stuff everywhere. Okay. Yes, indeed, there's a little beef stew. And here's our rice. Oh, isn't that lovely? And it is hot. Lovely. That is a lot of rice. All right, I can't wait to tuck into this, and I have to say, placing all the little items into dishes makes this so beautiful. I know out in the field this wouldn't be a possibility, but I want to give you an idea of what it's like when you do have a Japanese meal. You have little items and little dishes all presented together along with your rice. I'm going to taste this using a spoon because my last Japanese ration included a spoon. So let's go ahead and do it that way. I'm going to get a bite of everything. Itadakimasu. And it's delicious, especially considering that it just came out of a can. It doesn't taste canned at all, and it has that delectable sticky texture of Japanese rice. And it's seasoned but lightly, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of dashi stock in there, nice chewy mushrooms in there, a little bit of dehydrated carrot, which I don't really taste. Let's try a little bit of this, which I believe is fried tofu. And it is, which gives it a nice kind of fried richness. This is very similar to the rice that I had in my kamameshi bowl. If you missed that video, I'll put the link up there and down below as well. And it's a stewed kind of rice dish, or pilaf, that has all kinds of wonderful vegetables and additions into it. Pretty similar to that. Let's try a little bit with our stew. Looks very tender and it's sliced. And that's pretty good. Very well cooked piece of meat, relatively tender, sliced thinly to assist in the tenderness of it. It definitely has a good amount of sweetness to it, some soy, some dashi, which is a bonito broth or stock. The meat though is quite coarse in texture, although it's sliced thinly, so it breaks up pretty readily in your mouth, but it does have a little bit of coarseness to it. And even with all the sauce, it's a little bit dry, kind of like beef jerky-ish, but not quite. I'm just gonna have some of this sauce in my rice. Let's have it like that. Now that is delicious. Now let's try a bite of this with the daikon. So the pickled daikon adds a lot to this dish. Texturally, it's crunchy, kind of like a wet crunch of a pickle, a dill pickle spear, like that. A little bit more compact. In terms of flavor, it has a very pungent flavor of daikon, which is a little bit odoriferous, but it has a nice kind of sweet flavor, kind of similar to sauerkraut, not as sour. There's definitely some sugar in there that adds a little bit of tang and some ginger as well. Excellent, really great contrast to the sweetness of the meat and the softness of the rice. You get that big crunch. Let's try a wiener next. That's not bad. It is very, very salty. The interior is quite similar to Vienna sausage, has a little bit more hot doggy flavor to it, but that same kind of very homogeneous, soft meat texture. What I do like about these, though, is that there is a natural casing around this, so there is a snap. So when you bite into it, has that great little crisp, snappy skin on the outside. Delish. All in all, this is a terrific tasting ration. There's a lot of variety here. It's relatively compact. The disadvantage, of course, that it's packed in metal containers, so it's quite heavy. And there's a lot of moisture in here as well, which adds more to the weight. I do like the simplicity of it too, and the varied nature, as I mentioned. But there aren't any snacks, and you also have to have a good amount of time to prepare this meal. 25 minutes to prepare a can of rice is a long time, and if you eat rice at all, you probably know that cold rice is, to me, in my opinion, almost unpalatable. It has a very hard, crunchy texture, and just not very good. As opposed to a bread that you find in MRE, there's no heating required and you can just tear open the package and eat it cold, no problem. So there's the disadvantage of rice. Although I appreciate the streamlined kind of compactness of this ration, I do feel like it is missing some kind of snack, either crackers or some sort of energy bar or something like that that you can eat while you're on the go. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and big thanks again to Gundog for sending me this ration. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Be sure to share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media so you can get kind of a sneak peek of what videos are to come. And yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you in my next video. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye.